Okay. I got a call from a venture capital firm out of Dallas in Silicon Valley, Seven Rosen, and they said they had met a young engineer who had spent a career in supply chain management, and he had written some programs to match job seekers with recruiters who were looking for job seekers. And so I had met some of the Seven Rosen people. They knew that I'd had a 10-year experience with Hire.com out of Austin, where we did a lot of that. And so I met the engineer, and after vowing I would never get back in this particular segment of the business again, I saw his technology, and it just absolutely blew me away. He had a peer-to-peer, at the time, product with a very crude user interface on it. On the other hand, he had, without getting too technical, he had a thin matching engine that distributed most of the computing to the client machines. And he downloaded software on the recruiter's machine as well as the candidate. And because he did this distributed processing, he could do a lot of things that we had always avoided in our ASP architectures, as do the other job boards, the monsters, the career builders, and so forth. You avoid a lot of those compute-intensive portions of the application because it'll just eat you up. And by downloading the software and distributing the processing, he could do things like scoring and ranking of jobs for candidates and candidates for recruiters. Immediately I was interested. I said, I don't think people want to download software on the client, so I bet you can't go back, get the same functionality without downloading software, which I think is a showstopper. Within a couple of months, I get a call and he says, come look at this, and he had done it. So he had taken Web 2.0 technology and he had extended it, and he had the same basic functionality of peer-to-peer, and but without downloading software. So basically what that meant, he could very rapidly match candidates and jobs using structured data. And then once he matched those two, he could do a lot of extensive computing on the client machines and then basically get out of the way and let them go and interact. Well, we had a lot of ideas coming out of Hire.com of things that we'd like to do that we hadn't done in the whole sourcing area with structured data matching. With this architecture, all of a sudden I went back and I talked to Hank Stringer, the founder of Hire.com, several of the other smart people that had been at Hire.com and were then out of Hire.com, showed them what I had, and we were off and running. So we went back to Seven Rosen, another venture capital firm, Row Capital, raised some what we call proof of concept money, went out and did a major beta with about 1,000 what we call quiet working professionals. These are passive job seekers that have jobs that aren't looking, that would like to be anonymous, but would like to go explore opportunities if they could do that in a private manner. So we proved that this technology really lent itself to the quiet working professional, and then went back to the venture guys and said, we're ready to go. Then did a serious round of funding, brought some more people in the company. We put at least 2, if not 3 new UIs on the product since then, because we keep trying to get it right, and we're pretty happy with the UI we got now. And so we've done another major beta with about 20 companies in the Texas area, and then we'll do a launch in Texas in 3 to 4 cities in June. And so now we're off and running. Long story, but that's how it happened. Well, the way we got the name is people would ask Hank and I and Assad Khan, who was this young supply chain engineer I talked about, what are you guys doing? And when we describe it, we were in stealth mode. In most cases, we'd say, we got a big idea we're working on. And so we kept on with that. So finally we needed a code name. Hank came up with the code name itzbig. And once we did that, then our beta accounts, when we started saying we got to name the company and we're trying to come up with a name, they were attached by then. They said, don't change it, keep it. So we think a lot of things we believe in are big deals. We believe someone's career is a big deal. We believe their privacy is a big deal. We believe the quality of candidates that recruiters seek is a big deal. And so that's kind of our play on big, and so therein that's how we named the company itzbig. Yeah, we had some experience at Hire.com, and so we thought we had a handle on what the problems were and what people were interested, both on the recruiter side and the candidate side. But in our proof of concept, we went out and did some extensive market research. And we questioned recruiters, we questioned candidates, and particularly quiet working professionals. And the first recruiting organization we talked to in a corporation told us there are three big problems. The first one is quality. We as recruiters can't find quality candidates on the current job boards. And in fact, most of the high quality candidates aren't on the job boards because of the privacy issue. Number two, clearly they said it's not an efficient process. The keyword search of free text does not give you good matches. That's where you start, and from there on you're wading through bad resumes, bad in that they don't match what we're really looking for. So it is highly inefficient. And then the third one was, we don't know where we are in the process. We don't get good feedback. Now, over on the candidate side, it was interesting because when we did our market research there, the candidates said there's a quality problem. We can't find high quality jobs that match us on the job boards. Secondly, they said there's an efficiency problem. I wade through jobs after job after job and waste a lot of time. And then thirdly, they said feedback. I get none. I send my resume in, it goes into what they, over and over, they call it a black hole. And I never hear anything back from anybody. And so we said, wait a minute, quality, efficiency are saving time, the need to save time, and then feedback. Those were mirrors for the candidate and the recruiter. Interestingly, after those first 10 discussions, we could have quit on our market research because everything we did at that just repeated those three. It's quality, it's time, and it's feedback. And I think the discontent is about equal on both sides between the candidates and the recruiters. So usually you can if you're doing a startup with softwares, and I've done several, you've got better, faster, cheaper. And usually you pick one or two of those and you optimize them. This was one of the rare opportunities I saw where you could clearly give a better solution. You could give a faster solution that saved time. And in saving time, you can save money. And so this was a three-banger. This was better, faster, cheaper across the board. And that's a rare opportunity. It is a known market. People spend $2.5 billion with public job boards, so they're huge budgets. So, our net was, this is a big old fat juicy market. We will attract higher quality candidates into our network because we will absolutely ensure their privacy, their security, and they can come in without anybody knowing they're there, and they can explore opportunities. Today, with layoffs, mergers, outsourcing, offshoring, all of the things that can happen that says you really don't have lifetime employment anybody. Nobody does. Everybody needs a plan B. So instead of waiting till you've got the crisis situation where you need that job, go ahead on a safe network like ours, explore opportunities. Now if that situation arises, boom, you know exactly who you match up for, you know how you score, you know how you rank, you know what doors to knock on, you can start a dialogue. So we'll attract quiet working professionals in. Our market research says that 85 to 90% of the workforce do not use job boards. So if you can get the quiet working professional in, that's huge. And so for a better solution that gets those guys in, that's the better part of it.